everyone. Welcome to SCI-EASE. In this video, I am going to start with a new chapter, Materials, Metals and Non-metals. You see many things around you in your classroom, at your home, in the market. They are either made up of metals or non-metals. The fan, the desk, then utensils in the kitchen, bridges, windows, all they are made up of either metals or non-metals. Here, this pencil, it has the grayish color material with which you write. That is a non-metal, that is graphite. So, metals and non-metals play a very important role in our life. Now, the question arises, how you can identify that this is a metal or a non-metal? So, in this video, I am going to discuss the physical properties of the metals. That what properties metals show and what properties non-metals show. Side by side we will compare them. You take some materials like iron, tungsten, aluminium. They are quite hard. They are very hard. So the first property of the metals, that is, metals are hard. Metals are usually hard. But I will tell you an exception. Sodium and potassium metals, they are so soft that they can be cut with a knife. So you must know the exceptions also. Exception is sodium and potassium. Na is sodium and K is potassium. They are so soft that they can be cut with a knife. On the other hand, non-metals, they are usually soft. Non-metals are usually soft. But here also, there is one exception. You know that there are many allotropic forms of carbon, graphite, one of the allotropic form, and another is diamond. Diamond is the form of the carbon, which is a non-metal, but it is the hardest substance known. It is used for cutting glasses and for drilling purpose. So here the exception, that is diamond. So side by side, we will learn about the exceptions also. Now next thing, you observe the ornaments made up of gold, silver, platinum. They all are shining. They have the shiny appearance, you can say. Other metals like aluminium, etc., they are also shining. So what is that known as? All these are metals and they have luster, shining appearance. So we will say that metals are lustrous or metals have metallic luster. Second property, that is, metals are lustrous. But on the other hand, non-metals, Non-metals, they have dull appearance. Coal, coke are dull in appearance. So this is the very important term used for the metals like gold, silver, platinum, uh, aluminium, copper. All these metals, they have the shiny appearance. Now next thing, I will tell you something about very important term. You take iron nail or any other metal, this goldsmith takes this gold or silver piece and hammer it. When we hammer the metals, they will be chained into thin sheets. Thin sheets, they will be formed. Iron sheets, aluminium sheets, and the most important of them, that is the aluminium foil. It is very thin, which your mom used for wrapping your lunch, or silver foil that is used to decorate the sweets. So they are very thin. So what is that property known as? That is, metals, they can be chained into thin sheets when hammered. This is the malleability. So we will say that metals are malleable. Third property, metals are malleable. You must know the definition of malleability, that is, they can be chained into, that is, they can, or metals can be chained into thin sheets when hammered. Okay? Now, take some non-metal. You take piece of this coal, sulfur or phosphorus and hammer it. What will be the result? They will be chained into the powdered form. Okay? So, we will write that non-metals are non-malleable, are non-malleable. That is, they cannot be chained into thin sheets. Now next, again I will use one term very important. You know that in the wiring of the house or your school, copper that is used. In the same way, cable wires, they are made up of aluminium. So this is the property of the metals again. That is, metals, they can be drawn into wires. They can be chained into wires. What is this property known as? Ductility. This is the ductility. Malleable means they can be chained into thin sheets, and ductile means that metals, they can be drawn into wires. So the fourth property, physical property, is metals are ductile. But non-metals, they cannot be drawn into wires. So we will write that non-metals are non-ductile. Side by side, we are to cover this metals and non-metals both. Now next is, your mom takes the pressure cooker and keep it on the flame, gas stove you can say. The cooker, that will become hot. But you know that handle of the cooker, that is made up of ebonite. That is not hot. So, because the cooker or any utensil, any pan that is made up of metal, it conducts heat. Heat that can be conducted. But if the handle is made up of ebonite or wood or plastic, they can't conduct the heat. So, metals, they are good conductor of heat. On the other hand, you see that in the wiring, we use copper wire, okay? And that copper wire, that is wrapped by some plastic material, which is the insulator, so that when the wire that is touched, that doesn't harm us. So why we use this wire? For that you can perform an activity. You can take the electric circuit you can make by taking this electric wire, then bulb, and some you can say safety pin. When you connect this, when the circuit is complete, you can say, you will see that the bulb that will glow. Why? Because this wire, metal, which is the wire which is made up of metal, that will conduct electricity. So metals, they are good conductor of heat as well as they are good conductor of electricity. So here the fifth point is, metals are good conductor of and electricity, heat and electricity. But on the other hand, you can take plastic, wood, rubber, okay? Through them, the electricity that can't be conducted. That is why the wires, they are wrapped with the plastic material, okay? So non-metals, they are bad conductor of heat and electricity. Bad conductor of heat and electricity. Now, the last point, you go to the temple or in your home also, you ring a bell, okay? So, what will you observe? You ring a bell, or in your school, you struck the iron bell or the copper bell with a hammer. You will very pleasant, or you can say ringing sound, that will be produced. So what is the specific name given to this? That is, metals are sonorous. Means when we struck the metal, it will produce the ringing sound. Temple bell, then bell in your school, or the string used in the musical instrument. They are also made up of metal and they produce the ringing sound. Okay, so the sixth point, that is the last point, very important term, metals are sonorous. There's a new term for you, sonorous. That is, they produce ringing sound. Sound when struck. For this, you can perform one activity. You take two boxes, one made up of wood and another of metal. You struck both the boxes with hammer. Where the ringing sound that will be produced? The box which is made up of metal, that will produce the ringing sound, but the box which is made up of wood, it will not produce the ringing sound. So, metals, they are sonorous and non-metals are non-sonorous. Non-metals are non-sonorous, that is, they do not produce a ringing sound when struck. So I have used many terms here. First one is lustrous, that is, they have shiny appearance. Okay, but non-metals are dull. Here I want to give you one exception that may not be given in your book, but you know that the crystals of iodine, they have shiny violet color. Crystals of this iodine, they have shiny violet color. So here the exception, that is iodine, it is not dull. Another term which we have covered here, that metals are malleable. That is, they can be chained into thin sheets when hammered. Another term which we have learnt here, that is, metals are ductile. That is, the metals, they can be drawn into wires. So it's again malleability, ductility, they are the new terms for you. Metals are good conductors. So you must know what are good conductor and what do you mean by bad conductor of heat and electricity. The last term, that is the sonorous. Metals are sonorous. I'm repeating it because these terms, they are new for you. You are to memorize the definitions also of these terms, because sometimes the definitions that may be asked, that what do you mean by malleability, ductility, sonorous. So you should know all these terms. So I have explained the physical properties of metals and non-metals in detail. I think the things are clear to all of you. Now I will meet you in the next video and we will discuss the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Till then, thank you very much.